AITA for deliberately misunderstanding my child's father? So I had a baby some weeks ago with my partner to whom I'm not married. We've been together a while, and I've given many compromises in this relationship. While discussing baby's name, we had a few disagreements on names but ultimately decided on a name we both liked well enough. The surname was a sticking point. He wanted the baby to have his name alone. I offered to hyphenate because logistically it's easier for the baby to have both of our names. He's been drinking the red pill Kool-Aid lately, a large bone of contention in this relationship, and went off about how it's tradition and the right thing to and his right as a man to have the baby have his surname. He told me I'd be emasculating him and may as well be a single parent if I won't grant him this one little ask. My word is final, baby's having one surname. This was late in my pregnancy and I didn't have it in to fight, so I told him that I understood what he was saying. FF to 3 weeks ago when baby's birth certificate came. He blew a gasket when he saw that I'd given the baby my surname. He rehashed the conversation above, saying I agreed to giving baby his surname. This is where I might be TA. I did nothing of the sort. I told him I understood him, which I did, but I never said I agreed with him. I told him there was no way I was doing all the work of making a baby for him to stick his name on it. When we brought up tradition, I told him it's also traditional for him to marry me before having a baby, but he was happy to ignore that. I told him it was traditional for him to be the provider, but I do that too, and I pointed out other holes in his logic. I told him trying to bully me into submission with his red pill BS when I was exhausted from pregnancy didn't work. He should have known better than to expect me to not share a surname with my child. He said the baby should only have one surname, they do. So why's he mad? He went crying to his brothers and mother, all traditionalists and misogynists, and now they're all up in arms. AITA? ETA? There seems to be some confusion, we are not married or engaged. I don't believe in it, and he's never seen the point of bring the state into your relationship, so we agreed to never marry. He's on the birth certificate as the father, baby just has my last name but father is listed. Thanks for your feedback. I'll be asking him to come for a talk so I can plainly address the issues you guys have helped me see. Thank you for that. Edit. I'm very fortunate to be in a position where I don't need anything from him. I'm financially secure, I have a good job and a good support system. I don't need his financial backing to raise this child. I've texted him asking him to come home so we can talk. I'm thinking of having a mediator/neutral party there to avoid things getting out of hand.
Relevant comments. Commenter, NTA. You told the truth and nothing more. If I read your post correctly, you agreed the baby would have one surname. You didn't agree to which one. So, why are you still with this guy? He doesn't respect you. He doesn't provide for you and the baby? Please don't say because you need him or love him.
OP. I am reconsidering the relationship. The truth is he wasn't always like this. He fell on hard times and unfortunately chose to cope with that in an unhealthy way. At his core, I believe he is of good, but I need to have a frank conversation about the ideologies he's leaning into and the harm it's causing in our relationship. I hate that I sound like every enabler, and perhaps I need to do some introspection to see if that's what I've become, but he wasn't always like this. Life's been hard for him lately and his coping strategies have led us here. I need to have a frank chat with him about how it's affecting us.
Commenter, NTA, and please do not relent and change the baby's name. I just had a baby in August and shit's tiring. Congrats on your new addition and my condolences, you have to spend 18 years dealing with this family though.
OP. I am beyond in love with my tiny human. I hope you're doing well too with yours. Should this spell the end, I'm lucky to have my village and the means to minimize the suckiness of breaks-ups. There's no world in which any child I birth will not share a surname with me. My compromise of a double-barreled surname stands, no other offer is on the table. Update. So it turns out he's got deep-seated resentment for me, lol. He resents me for earning more money than him, being further in my career than he is, not losing my job during COVID like he did, having parents who love and support me, not being a submissive woman, lol, having a present and loving father, not combining our finances under his control, thus making him feel small. On the brighter side, I'm 12 weeks postpartum and already 75 kilograms lighter. So when I last came here, I said I'd asked him to come home and discuss our future with baby, preferably in the presence of a neutral party. He left me on read for a few days, though I could see he was spying on us through the Ring doorbell and baby's monitor. I disconnected them both and he finally responded. He came home, still irate. His stance still hadn't changed, he seemed to have been bolstered by the days he spent with him family. He rejected my request for us to do this in the presence of a couples therapist, the best neutral compromise I could offer. I asked him how he proposed we move forward, then, and he went on a rant where the above came out. It was a full mask-off moment. If there was any part of me that wanted you guys to be wrong about him, it died that day. He again rejected the offer to hyphenate baby's surname. Apparently I'm disrespectful and insolent. Funny enough, his mother's fave words to scold people she disagrees with for refusing to do what's right and give baby their rightful surname. I told him I won't go through the administrative nightmare of having a different surname to my child, and lots of data shows a double-barreled surname is social currency that has positive connotations. Nope, he wouldn't budge. I told him neither would I. Baby either has both our surnames or mine alone. He asked if this was a hill I wanted this relationship to die on, if I was prepared to throw half a decade down the drain over my silly little feminism. I told him I wasn't sure there was anything left to fight for. We broke up. Thankfully, our, in his name, lease expires end of May. I called my dad and he came to help me back up baby. X went back to his mom's while we packed. I messaged him to suggest we still need couples counseling. We need to learn to be co-parents and they can help us establish a healthy way of doing that. He again said no to that. So my mom wanted to take me and baby on a baby moon holiday after this stressful period, but he would grant permission for me to take baby abroad, smiley face. It was at that moment I wished I didn't have him on the birth certificate like some of y'all accused me of. It's going to be a long road ahead. I've instructed a lawyer to help us set up a formal agreement to avoid this in the future. He's not responding to correspondence from the lawyer, so that's fun. He's sulking, used to do this a lot when things didn't go his way. I hope he'll soon realize I no longer have time for his BS and I won't be toyed with because I called his bluff and ended the relationship. To end on a bright note, he house I wanted us to buy a couple of years ago, which he talked me out of until he was back on his feet again despite us being able to afford it on my salary alone, is back on the market. I took it as fate. It's time to move on from this man. It's a beautiful Victorian terrace near good schools, good transport links, a small garden and close to my parents. It'd be the perfect home for baby and I put in an offer last night, wish me luck. It's in a chain, so if my offer's accepted it won't be ours for months, but my parents have allowed baby and I to move into their granny annex for free, my village.
Relevant comments. Commenter, he sounds like a horrible person, and he'll probably pass down his horrible ideologies of women and relationship to your child, but hey, I don't know you or him, no offense and that relationship, but is co-parenting even worth it? Loudly crying face.
OP. I mean, he's not asked to see the baby since we broke up, so TBH I don't think I'll have to do much co-parenting with him. Update 2. Hi. This is really more of a method to help me process per my therapist's guidance rather than anything else. He's dead. He died a week after my last update. His funeral was last month and it's been hell. He heard from a mutual friend that I'd put an offer in on the house and came to my parents where baby and I were staying in a drunken rage. It was late, after 10, and he was causing a ruckus and disturbing the neighbors. He wouldn't leave and kept hurling nasty things at me, how I was keeping his baby from him despite him making zero effort to see them after we separated, how I robbed him of his legacy, how I couldn't wait to be rid of him and how much he hated me. We went from begging to pleading, to cursing me and trying to kick down my parents' door to crying. I opened a window and told him to leave or we'd call the police. He refused, so we called them. He ran away. I'm still not sure on the details because his family won't tell me, but I gather he was trying to cross a busy road with the awareness of a drunk, angry man and got hit by a car. He died on before the ambulance arrived. I found out when his mother called screaming down the phone, crying about how I'd killed him. She blames me. Even at his funeral she made sure to tell people how I was to blame for her baby boy's untimely death. I know it's not my fault. Rationally and logically I did not tell him to make the series of bad decisions that led to his death, but I still feel guilty. His mother tried to claim his life insurance that I paid for. She said he'd told her he'd change it for her to be the beneficiary. I don't know how far true it is, but I refused and told her the purpose was to help set baby up for life if one or both of us met an untimely death, so that's what it will do. She's threatened to sue me, but I don't know where that will lead. I am exhausted. I'm tired and I'm grieving and I'm being told I have no right to mourn him. We got the house, but it won't be ready until late September. His mother tried to claim a share of that, too, even though her son made no contributions to it. They've made no efforts to see baby and refused to let me visit the funeral parlor with them to say goodbye to their dad. I'm drained. I was supposed to go back to work soon, but thankfully my employer is understanding. We've booked a trip out of the country while we wait for the house's completion. I've become the target of a harassment campaign from ex's family who are calling me all sorts. I don't know why I'm sharing this here. Perhaps because I've deleted all my own social media accounts, it's nice to be able to post somewhere where no one knows me. Where no one will accost me in the streets or at work or at home to call me unaliver.